So let's discuss about environment impact assessment. At the outset, and let me say that it will be a slightly more detailed video compared to earlier videos because environment impact assessment is in news because of the recent notification where the government has relaxed the EIA guidelines. So environment impact assessment notification is under an EPA Environment Protection Act 1986. So under it, basically what happens is the projects are divided into category A and category B. So category A are bigger projects like hydropower or thermal power plants. So they need clearance from the central government expert appraisal committee, and the category B projects are to be done by state governments. So, but category B is divided into B1 and B2. B1 requires EIA while B2 doesn't require. So the first stage of EIA is screening. So screening happens to screening, as we can understand, screening will happen only for category B project, because here we have to screen and find out whether the project falls under B1 or B2. So first is screening. The second stage is scoping. So in scoping we find the broader issue or the terms of reference. What all are we going to consider under the EIA report. After scoping is done, the EIA process actually starts. Under it, there are public hearings with the affected people, NGOs. Then there is mitigation measures, like what mitigation strategies that the project proponent has undertaken to avert any fallout. Then there are other things like whether consider appraisal of alternatives. So let's say the project proponent has undertaken to establish a thermal power plant at place A, but place A involves rehabilitation of lot of people or submergence of forest. Then other alternative sites like place B can be proposed. Or suppose this causes a lot of pollution, then mitigation strategy might be creating a green muffler kind of belt which will prevent noise pollution from going to residential areas. So these are the stages in third part where mitigation, public meetings, appraisal of alternatives is done. And the fourth is presentation of the report, which takes the decision as a cost benefit analysis whether the project will go as it is, or there will be some modification, or the project will be stopped. So, but friends, EIA is not a one-time process. It is a continuous appraisal process. So after regular intervals, the project has to be appraised whether the EIA guidelines are being followed or no. What a big lacuna in the recent notification is that the government has said that a project for which EIA was not undertaken can later pay a fine and regularize it. So there is a lot of hue and cry against this, because under this a project will be a project proponent can go ahead with his project and later on say that I've invested crores of rupees and there are so many people employed, so please grant me an environment impact assessment clearance. So that might prejudice the decision in its favor. So dosto, this is the environment impact assessment, and it is mandated under Environment Protection Act 1986 and the attendant notifications. And just for the sake of definition, which we didn't discuss till now, it's a cost benefit analysis on the based on the profits of the project versus its loss on society, environment, intergenerational equity also, because that is considered under sustainable development. सो दोस्तों, दिस इज़ अबाउट एनवायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट. आई होप आपको समझ में आया होगा. कोई दिक्कत, कोई परेशानी कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताइएगा. मिलते हैं एक नए वीडियो में एक नए केस के साथ. टिल देन, बाय बाय.